Braden, I know your grandparents mean well, but sometimes they just don't have it all. I'm filming, and I just felt compelled to make this video because I just got off the phone with my mother giving me yet some more advice that I feel like maybe she should have thought through before she actually said that, because I'm thinking, now listen, I understand that you got this from my grandmother, which is her mother, and she got it from her mother, which is my great grandmother. But you know, some things just don't necessarily go with the times. Like, it just doesn't last. So I just thought, since I'll already be putting out my Dear Braden post on Raising Braden, I got it going on, I said, let me just put a video together for you new mothers, the first time mothers. Now, you all that have 2 and 3 and 4 kids, you know, some of this may apply. You may laugh at it thinking about that first time you were a mother or whatever, but just some advice that I have learned since I am 10 months and 1 week in the game. I feel like I am winning at motherhood right now. This situationship is kind of awesome sometimes, but there have been moments where people have told me how things are going to be, and yeah, they were wrong. Like, very, very wrong. So I want to start with the #1 thing mothers get when they find out I'm pregnant, I'm getting ready to have me a little one, and all of a sudden, all the old school mamas, the first time grandmother, and everybody want to pop off and give you some old wives' tales. Let me tell you something. Sometimes they make sense. In other moments, you need to step back and ask them, I want you to think about what you just said. Because here's the first one I received. Well, when the baby come out, we gonna have to shape his head. Now, I'm gonna need for what you not to do is try and take my baby's head and shape it by your own hands. You have absolutely no medical degree. You don't know what is going on inside his brain and what you are messing up. So please don't take your hands and try to warp my child's head into what you think it should look like. Even though I'm lucky, my child's head just came out round. It's a little slightly big, but it's a little round, and that's okay. The second one. Tape a quarter or a nickel to the baby's belly button so he don't have an outie. Okay, grandmas, grannies, GGs, G-Ma, whatever y'all want to call yourselves these days. Let's take a step back and think about this just for a quick moment. Let's just understand how this works. Do you really think some Christmas wrapping paper tape and a quarter or a nickel is going to outdo genetics? I'm just wondering, do you all really think this is not Rogaine, it's not tougher than genetics? Listen, I don't think taking a quarter or a nickel to a baby's navel is going to determine whether it has an outie or an innie. I think that child's DNA strand is going to determine whether that child has an outie or an innie. Let's just be real here. I'm just trying to help y'all out. What was that? Oh Lord, this one here. So I had to actually fall back from was all of these first-time mother groups. In some respects, let me give them their due. These groups give you a lot of advice. They have some really good pointers. But for me, I really feel like you need to look at your audience and take it with a grain of salt. Take what is applicable and just dismiss the rest. Because I have gone off and told some of these women in these groups, y'all are a little too self-righteous for me. Just because it worked for you doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for everybody else under the sun. And that is probably my biggest gripe when it comes to some of these first-time mother groups. However, that does not mean that there isn't very helpful information in there. Just don't get so bogged down into everything all of these women have to say that you can't focus on what works best for you. Again, go back to the mother's intuition, women's intuition. No one knows your child better than you. Speaking of the third thing, this is the part that probably freaked me out the most. Because as a whole human being, I thoroughly enjoy my sleep. I don't like my sleep interrupted. I make sure I have my life timed out so that way I can get my sleep as much as I need and when I want, because I'm an adult and sleep is important to me. And all you're going to hear those 9 months when that precious baby is in your belly is you are never going to sleep again. This is about 87% lies. These are alternative facts, if I have ever heard it, made up by the fake media. Listen, that child is going to stick to either mommy or daddy's sleep schedule. In my case, I'm very lucky. My son sleeps to my sleep schedule. I sleep a lot, so when I go to sleep, he goes to sleep and he is out. There will be some sleepless nights. Let's not take that away. However, it is not every single night you're going to be sitting there with a screaming baby and having to get up and feed it and change and all that. That is not the case. And if that is the case, I'm sorry for you, but I would probably go talk to your pediatrician, because it could be just your child probably needs to be on some type of a schedule. So those are my 3 things, and they all flow back to mothers, first-time mothers. Stick to your intuition. Sometimes grandmas, GGs, GMAs, whatever you want to call them, they are not going to like your take on things. Sometimes dads are not going to like your take on things, but no one's going to know that child better than you, and that child is going to love you to freaking death. So just take everything with a grain of salt and just take, whatever is applicable to your child and you all's lifestyle. As long as that baby is healthy and happy and functioning and progressing and learning, then you are fine. And just for a note, Bob the Train on YouTube saves lives. That's all I'm going to say. Bob the Train saves lives. I hope this helps someone. This has just been my opinion for my last 10 months and 1 week of motherhood. And maybe I'll hit y'all with a new video sometime soon when I get a little bit more insight to life as a first-time mother. All right. Hope y'all enjoyed this.